Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And for this lesson we are going to learn about introduction to music theory. Previously we have learned about the rhythms. We introduced the rhythm. We did most of the rhythms that normally basically for a beginner or somebody who is doing the CBC curriculum will be able to learn through. So, and in our lesson we are going to learn what is music. Firstly, let me try to define the term music. Music is the research or a study that is done or was done, but music continues on developing. So you'll find that the music that is being studied or researched, this music entails researching on sounds, rhythms, that when you research these sounds, you want them to come together and produce something that is pleasing to the ear. So we could say that music is the study for organized sounds. You stop when you just make a sound randomly, that becomes noise. But when you organize those noises, then you make some music, regardless, maybe it's an instrument, is a vocals, or maybe some other, maybe say, let's say percussion instruments. When you organize them well, then you create some music. And for us to be able to learn what is entailed in music study or music score reading, we need to learn about the music paper or a manuscript. Somebody will ask you, give me the music for a certain song or a music for a certain performance on instrument or orchestra. And that's what we are going to define. So to start with, we are going to start with a staff. So what is a staff? A staff is a set of 5 parallel horizontal lines. 5 parallel horizontal lines like this. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they have to be horizontal and then parallel to each other. Then we are going to have 4 spaces inside the staff. So this is where we write our music. This is where we write our music. The second thing we are going to see are the notes. What are these notes? These notes are the small signs that look like a normal note would look like this. So this is the note head. This is the stem, and we normally have a flag for some of them. Some will have a flag, some will have a flag, others won't have. Others will be, you will find others with an empty note head, just an oval shaped note head. Others you can find them being just a circle or an oval-like circle. These are the normal notes that you're going to find in your music. Then, how do we write them in our staff? This is what we do. So have your staff, 5 parallel lines. 5 parallel lines. And then we are going to write these notes, some of them on the line and some of them inside the space. So for those that will be on the line, they would look like this. If it is this one, it will look like that. If it is on the line, should look like that. This similar notation. Then if it is on the space, it would look like this. Extend it a little bit. So we have our semi-brief here inside the space. Then if you are going to have this note inside the space, it might look like this. So your music paper must be very neat. Your music paper must be very neat. So if you are writing them on the line, let them sit on the line. If it is inside the space, let them be clearly seen that they are inside the space without touching the other lines. Then we have something else from this for us to be able to name these notes. These notes, they have names. So for the note names, we normally use alphabetical the alphabetical letters from A to G. From A to G, then you repeat the A as you move ahead. Remember that your music starts from left to right, and you don't go back, not unless you are using some musical repeat marks. That's just to show you that you should repeat somewhere. So move from left to right. So you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then you start again A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So what happens is that the A that started has a low pitch, and then the A that follows has a higher pitch, than the one that started. So, and these note names, for us to be able to know which note name is this, there's something we use, something known as, so this is our first one, our second, so our third, so let us call this third. Then our fourth element that we are supposed to know is known as clef. A clef is a music sign that will install these note names or letter names, note letter names on the staff. It will install note letter names on the staff, on the notes that you have written on a certain staff. Firstly, we are going to look at two clefs, that is the treble clef, also known as G clef, and bass clef, which is also known as F clef. Let us look at the two different types of clefs. The first one being the Trembo Cliff. So this is the sign. For freehand drawing, do this practice. Start from a point, then turn clockwise like that, go up, down. So again, start from a point, turn clockwise like so. When you start, you don't stop until you are done. So let us try to install this inside our staff. So our 5 lines again, 3, 4, 5. So the Trembo Cliff is also known as G clef. We are going to know right now why is it called the G clef. So the Trembo Cliff starts when you want the point that I was telling you, that start from a point. That point is on the second line of this staff. We count our lines from below upward. So start from the second line, and the clefs appear at the beginning of a music sheet. So this is our start. So start here, then up, down, like that, and you can draw your circle better. So why it starts here, we say that it installs the letter G on the second line of the staff. The treble clef installs the G letter on the second line of the staff. Having this G, we can easily name the other lines because it is the alphabetical order and you don't jump in a number. Remember to name every space and every line. every space and every line. And the staff moves from down upwards. Down upwards. So if we could start from here, say that's our G. The next is our space. So from G, we said we repeat our A, whereby we say that this is A. Then from A, definitely is a B, which should be on this line here, that line. Then from B, we have a C, which is on that space. Then we have a D, which is on the fourth line. Then we have an E, which is on the space, fourth space. Then we have an F, which is on the fifth line. Going down from G, scaling down the alphabetical order, from G we go to F. Then from F we have an E. We can create an acro sentence for this. For the notes, you can name the nodes in an acro sentence and say the nodes in the spaces. You could say that they form a name known as face, just like that. The face, your face, are the spaces using the Trembo Cliff or the G clef. When we change it to the bass clef, you are going to see a difference. Then for the notes on 9, we can say that they start here, and you could create a sentence and say maybe every good boy deserves. So those are our notes on the line and notes inside the space. So you could say that every good boy deserves favor. Using a Trembo Cliff, you have just named the lines on your staff. If you say a face, you have just named the spaces on your staff. Let us see the other one, the bass clef. So the bass clef, also known as F clef. The bass clef, also known as the F clef. And for this one, just start from a point, again clockwise and then down, and put the colon on your right hand side. Then how are we going to illustrate this on our staff? Have your lines, 5 of them. Then every clef must start at the beginning of your music sheet. So start here, go up and down, and your colon on the right. Then why do we call it an F clef? It is because it will install the letter F on the fourth line of the staff. So this line is line F. So knowing the alphabetical order, we can be able to name the others. So just follow either up or going down. So from F, this is the line F. Going up, this will be a space, which is space G. And then this is a line, which will be line A. Remember, from G, we go back to A. Then from F going down, we are going further. This space is E. This line is D. This space is C. This line is B. This space is A. And this line is G. And here, we also create an acro sentence for the spaces. We say that all cows, remember we are going to start from down up, you can say all cows eat grass. Those are our important letter names, which are supposed to name the spaces in the bass clef. How about the lines? We can use the one that we used for the Trembo Cliff and try to construct the same here. And we can start by saying the good boy deserves favor always. Pretty simple. So good boy deserves favor always. By saying that, you have just named the lines on your bass clef, and saying all cows eat grass, you have just named the spaces on your bass clef. So having done this, then it is very easy for you to write your notes. If you have your note here, You just say that this is note B in regards this to the staff, to the clef. In regard to the clef that you have been given, this note is note B. If it is on the space, say like here, then this is note A in regard to the bass clef that we have. If you do the treble clef, you'll find that this is F and this will be G. So these are some of the properties. Now we go at the next property, which is number 5, which will be ledger line or lines. Ledger line or lines. What is a ledger line? So if you want to write your notes above or below the staff, what do you do? Because some of them would go, some of the music go even below the staff and above the staff, and we don't want to add more lines on this staff because most of the music will be flowing inside this staff. But how about if they're just above or below the staff? This is what we do. So the ledger lines, we say these are lines above or below the staff, and we are going to use the bass clef staff, whereby the normal notes will be here. But what about if we have a note above? If it is just one, we can have it there. But when there are two notes or more, or maybe it is way below, we can use small or short horizontal lines to the staff, say like here, and name that note. So the last note we named here was G. Going below, scaling down the alphabetical order, you'll find that this space is G. Then we have this note as note E. Just below the line below the staff will be an E here. We could even go to many more ledger lines below and name them accordingly. If they are above the staff, we could have maybe 2 or 3 lines and have our note either here, or we could have it here, or even on the space, on the line, even on the line like this. This is how we do the ledger lines. If it is below here, you can have them like that, or like that. Remember that every note below or above the staff should have its own ledger line. Every note above or below the staff should have its own ledger line. So the ledger lines are, the definition would be short horizontal lines that are used to indicate notes above or below the staff.